Fluxcat, and I want to talk about this natural controversy over this Pokédex thing. I want to get my thoughts out about it because really I don't know what to say. Hold on for a second. Okay, so here's my thoughts about this problem. You see, I don't think the Pokédex is that bad, and I'll get to a reason why. But I also think Nintendo purposely lied to us, which I'll get to that why. First up, I do want to talk about the game. Now, as you can see, I don't own the game. But I've been watching someone playing it, and I could really tell while I am loving the game, I have to unfortunately agree that there is a few little problems. One of the biggest has to be the story dropping, which, if you guys don't know that term, is pretty much how the story keeps losing some good points. I think the story is okay, but yeah, I have to agree they should have sort of mixed it up. The second thing is the Pokemons are okay, by the way. You know, some of the newer ones I actually have a personal favorite. And I'll admit there's some controversial ones, like those two Dino ones, Fossil Pokemon, which I think it was a good idea. Funny enough, I kind of like their Mix Max too. And I understand there's like even a ripoff Meowstic. But the Pokemon are okay. Pokemon actually ain't the issue here. It's this game story that's what's been problem. However, there's a few things need to note. So one of the biggest issues that I've been hearing recently is coming from Cypher. I think he's the one with the volume of Horsey is his favorite Pokemon. I've seen his videos before, and there's also Twits. I actually haven't seen his videos fully, but I have seen Cypher EH videos and not try to call them out, but one of his videos kind of questioned me a little, and I'll show it in a bit later about it once we'll get to the main thing. So, first of all, since I haven't played a game, this review do not count. And obviously it will never whales over. But, perfectly honest, I think the game is okay. What I've seen so far, I really do want to get it, by the way. Which makes this awesome worse. To be perfectly honest, it is not the perfect game. Because there are a few holes. Story's already been said. I guess one of the other biggest holes they have produced is the main theme of this generation. The Pokemon is super fine for this theme. But the main goal of the theme of this series, like, I'm not saying because Aimslash is in this game, by the way, which I've been hearing a lot of jokes about it, especially from Masters Doom recent review on it, because he used someone else's. Actually, Aimslash is in the game. And you see, while the Sword and Shield is also in the game because it's locally legendaries, I will say its main theme was dropped poorly by the main attackers, which I won't spoil because that would be too bad and we're so early into this game. I will say that, and there was a lot of good story characters too. Like, my favorite had to be Marty's, but even then, she obviously get the short end of the straw from there. Now, my biggest problem is, though I am defending it by the way too, which is weird. First of all, one of the biggest issues that I've seen that a lot of people have been having trouble with is the fact that a lot of people have been saying that, oh, the reviewers, they're messing up. They're supposed to be like 0 out of 10 or something, which, if you want that review, go see Master Dunes, which I will blame him. That's his review. I'm actually not going to attack him at all. However, the problem is they can't just give it a bad grade, and not because of money. It's not like the same scandal with the hotels that gives... No, it wasn't hotels. It was those 5-star movies that give 5-star bad rating. The thing is, I heard GameXplain's review on it is pretty okay because they pointed out all the problems, and shoot, they even had after no spoil free zone talked about and how much they did not like it. Well, few people. And they give the score grade. Grade is a good middle score because there is a lot of potential. That's the thing. This game ain't like garbage. It's not fully garbage. It's edible trash. And even then, that will be even insulting the game because it's not even trash. There's good stuff in here. There's new Pokemon. There's life improvement. The only thing is that, yes, they dropped the ball on a lot of things in this thing, especially story. Story is actually the main element of why they dropped the bomb. However, it's a balance because it's like a scale. The good stuff matches up with the poor stuff. And I don't know really what to say for least. And be perfectly honest, there's nothing too major badly about it. Like, shoot, I even like all the Pokemon. Now, I will say it doesn't topple for my favorite game, which is Pokemon Y. That thing is always going to be a key. But even then, Pokemon Y done so much better than this. And Pokemon's okay. Now, my main issue is there's two issues. The lying part, which is kind of this thing. And for those who don't know, I'll get to it in a minute. By the way, I want to show you guys my favorite Pokemon real quick. And yes, I'm also on YouTube. Hold on a second. But I do want to point out these are great designs. And here's one Meowstic I was loving about. That's one of my favorite Pokemons. Hold on, I'll make this quicker because I don't want to waste you guys' time on this nutty video. So all I'm saying is probably nonsense. Sorry. I don't want to show that. We're getting there. I think this is pretty cool, by the way. Yeah, that's the one. The obvious. And by the way, here's my obvious when I get the game Pokemon that I hope to collect if I can find it. It's obviously hard to find. here. It's loading. Well, there's my real favorite Pokemon. There's my most favorite Pokemon, Chandelure. You know what, I'll wait. I'll go ahead and take a picture of it once we get to it. But no, stop waiting. Alright. Sorry about that. I had to take a picture, so when I edit this video, at the end, you will see my favorite Pokemon. So, what I'm talking about is, see this video here. So what the people have been talking about recently is the frame rate of the Pokemons, and I don't know, poor quality, I don't know. So the frame rates, by the way, for those who don't know, in lame, try to be science-y while not being techno-science-y, because I actually like technology, by the way. Frame rates are the frames that, like that, frames are what used for the models in the video games. They're used with triangular stuff, and they use it to program the 3D models that you see here. Now the problem is, as you probably see, Game Freak admittedly did not tell the truth about saying that there's new game models. I say somewhat is because there actually is. It's just they have to check it up, and I know there actually is new game models in there, mainly the new Pokemon. But for the old ones, which is being talked about, they had to use Pokemon from different games, like mainly from X and Y. Now, for me, that's not a big problem, and be fair, I'll get to the reason why, but in general, also because I'm super duper casual, I'm probably the definition of casual on this, because, I mean, shoot, look at me, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, so that makes me crazy. However, the main issue, as if you've seen this video, is technically a lot of people said that Pokemon has been lying about this, and also been saying that they don't want it to get out because the working theory is so that way when they do sell it, they don't have to worry about people making more big fuss about it. Now, okay, so here's my thought on this. For one, let's just get this out of the way. All companies have to lie. All of them. And yes, I know that's deceiving the customer, but there's always going to be holes into everything. Like, for example, this Wii U, for example, was a hole of everything because they explain things. Not every company is going to be perfect with this. And I know this for a fact because, not all products are for certain people, and even then, there's not a lot of things. But here's my issue with this. That doesn't mean they officially lied. They white lighted, which means a little thing. I mean, to be fair, Pokemon didn't really deserve it. The Pokemon company, whoever these creators are, I forgot their names, but it's sorry for them. They don't deserve all this hate because, for one, it's business, and that's all. Every business is going to have a shadow in its building, and that's how it works. That's what. And it is unfortunate, but sometimes the shadow knows what it's doing, and it knew sooner or later if that part got out, then it'll ruin the entire game. Which obviously it kind of did, because now the game it has sold up to 1,000 copies. Don't hold me to it. It's something 1, but it's definitely more lesser than Sun and Moon. Sorry, another commercial break, which is bad. Anyways, the point being, it's not their fault because that was a planned business thing. Now, the second thing is, let's be all honest here. There's nothing wrong with copycatting the models, and even then, as this video states, there's only few minor changes. Yes, there's some models that they're copycatted, but there's few little triangles changes, so I guess that counts. I don't know, I'm not the true techno expert, but I know in technology that may have been hard. So why am I defending this game? Because a lot of people will be like, well, this game doesn't need a defense. Look at that. It's just nutcase. Well, here's the problem. Nintendo this is their first game into the. Here's my problem. Here's the problem. This was their first truly real jump in. And this even discounting Let's Go, because I know a lot of people are going to say, what about Let's Go? And yes, Let's Go was somewhat counted, but this is more counted because they needed to jump on the bandwagon quickly. A real big problem is, well, when you think about it, is they didn't know how hardware, I guess, worked, but that's their thing. But even then, that goes to another rambling place, and that's too long. So, first, it was just a system, and this is their second dip. What they're trying to do is something similar to what happened with Pokemon X and Y, and get used to the system. Because X and Y did have a little bad rating to it, because a lot of people did not like it because they saw it child-friendly and all that, but that's all that. The second problem is actually towards some players. Now, I heard this during discussion of Game Explain, and a lot of people stated that they did not like Sun and Moon because of that story. And I don't know, you can call on them to correct check me, or I don't know. But because of that, Nintendo, and I agree with this, Nintendo was like, okay, with that feedback, maybe we should just cut off that story. Kind of a bad move when they already had put the bar that high, but that's what they thought. They were trying to please the fans because this was more bigger than Let's Go. And I'm discounting Let's Go because Let's Go is it's debated to consider either a spin-off or a remake or whatever. I call it all baked because heck. Finally, while there has been problem, there is with the Pokédex. First of all, we should have seen this coming. I mean, it happened in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Yes, we had literally everyone. You could transfer your Chandelure and Meowstic all you want. Problem was, the Pokédex did not have stuff. All the Pokemon of those things. It was only focused on the Pokemon in Alola. And let's think up for a second. There's now up to 800 Pokemon. You cannot collect all those and I know that for a fact because that means you had to do a lot of rare tradings. You had to do a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of things. So, even if it's fan favorite, that's not a bad deal. I mean, shoot, you might be thinking that I would be saying that because it's my most favorite Pokemon of all time, Chandelure's in there, but shoot, there's a lot of good choices, and I mean, the only other time I can think of is Pokemon Black and White, but then again, that thing actually had it solved, and even then, that also had an actual dex. The point is, the game, yes, has a few holes, that point is legitimately a lot of people think that it should be destroyed, or I don't know, something. However, that's not to say, at least. Like, I can see why people have their issues with, like, being a clone and, like, a freaking Echo Fighter to, not how, but to be fair, it does have some properties. Yes, it lackluster, but So my largest main point here is Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, yes, has its few problems. And no, it's not because they don't have swords and shields. Jokingly, they do. It's just not much. My only thing I could say is, for the future, we don't have much to talk about. Yes, this game has its huge problems. But look at where are we now? I mean, they just got literally into the Switch. They got a home console. And yes, it's probably not the first time they did this. In fact, I could say multiple other spin-offs. But they finally got themselves into an actual video game. And yes, it may mess up. It may not have this or the Z moves. But they got themselves into this, and we should be happy. Like a lot of people. And the other biggest issue is, it really is just, the way Pokemon is going, especially if you watch the other stuff like the anime, it really is trying to be a kid's game rather than a full-on adult game. I mean, because, for example, I don't think a little kid will literally want to try to collect them all. And times are changing. We're just gonna have to accept things as it is. I mean, shoot, I don't mind all this. I mean, shoot, be fair, you can't collect all the Pokemon in the world. I know that for a fact. And I'm okay. In fact, I'm willing to make that sacrifice to get more Pokemon. Shoot, I'm hoping that we go up to 1,000. And maybe it could work. I don't know. But, well, at this rate, I don't say Pokemon's gonna die, but I don't say the game messed up. Thank you for watching this video. And if you did, you don't have to click that like button. And you don't have to ring the bell or subscribe. But if you want to, go ahead. I don't care, really. I'm not a guy who really asks if you want to ask you to subscribe, because that's your choice, not mine, and I don't want to make you. So, I'm snapping out of here. That might be a new slogan for me. I'm snapping out of here.